This series has really been picking up the spare. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we're here with my blind reaction to episode 4 of Turkey Time to Strike. And I'll be honest with you guys, this past week I found myself weirdly conflicted. And this might be coming as a big surprise to you because, I've been clearly enjoying this series. I've made no secret of that. But specifically over this past week, I think I've come to think about something a little more. And as much as I'm enjoying this series, I'm kind of thinking, could this be something that would be better watched on my own time? This series seems kind of slower, and it's not as... I don't know how to put this. Okay, so with the first episode, with the way it ended, obviously I was really hyped, really excited, really wanted to get back to this, obviously, after doing the first impression. And it got me really super excited. The second episode, I even mentioned in that reaction, in those afterthoughts, I believe, that it was slower. That it was coming off of that big high. They had to establish what was happening now. But then episode 3 kind of kept up that same pace. It kept it slower, kept just expressing things, and it wasn't as interesting. And that's not to say it was bad. It was still really good. I still had a great time with it. But the first episode kind of sets this expectation that this series is going to be more exciting, more unique, more interesting, more hype. And then you have episodes 2 and 3 that are just kind of they dial it back a bit. And I feel like it's kind of implying to me that most of this series is going to be dialed back. We're probably not going to get much of them throwing bowling balls at people and shit like they were in for that brief moment in episode 2. We're probably not going to get much of that kind of stuff here. And I've started to kind of realize that this is probably going to be more slice of lifey. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm kind of wondering, is it going to be good for reactions? Because sometimes shows like this won't leave me with a lot to say. And whenever I do a reaction, I want to be able to say something. Even with City the Animation, which is also very slice of lifey, it also has a lot of new characters constantly being introduced, a lot of good comedy, a lot of zany craziness that I can work off of, Even if I don't have the most to say in comparison to something like One Piece or New Panty and Stocking or Dan to Dan, it's I'll still have plenty to say. But I'm kind of thinking this series might be one of those where it's this might be just a good vibe series, something you kind of just sit back and relax to, which is great. But it might not be good for reactions. And so I'm kind of wanting to see what this episode does for me here. If this episode keeps the pace of episodes 2 and 3, I think we might actually drop it. And I want to make clear, we wouldn't be dropping it because I dislike it, but I think it would just be better watched on my own time. And honestly, this isn't even getting as much attention as other shows on the channel anyway, if we're being fair. But I might want to switch that to my own time instead. And kind of focus on just enjoying it as it comes out, rather than having to worry about getting to it week to week and just kind of being left sitting here having fun but not having a lot to say. Comparatively, I feel like there's other shows we could get to that would give me a lot more to say. And so I'm wondering, what are we going to do here? And I've been mulling this over for the past week, and I think the best decision would be to give it at least this next episode to see. If things change up significantly enough, maybe I'll keep watching, because it's like, okay, we're going to start doing something different. We're going to start moving into a different tone. I can live with that. I can dig with that. It'll give me something to talk about. But if it's going to be, again, much of the same as we got in episodes 2 and 3, I mean, I'll probably still have something to talk about, but not as much. And I feel like it'll probably be better watched on my own time to just, vibe with, to sit back and relax to. Or maybe watch in my bed at night or whatnot. I don't know. You get the idea, though. So, I think we'll just get into this episode, see what happens, and hope for the best. So, let's check it out. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So yeah, episode 4, and they're already revealing, like, why Rena is like this, already kind of reconciling things with the rest of the club. This is honestly very unexpected. This feels like something that in a lot of anime would be, like, dragged out till, like, not necessarily the end of the season or series, but, like, close enough to. It feels like something that would normally be, like kind of this last, like, case scenario. She's always hiding it. She's always, like, maybe begrudgingly working alongside of them. But, like, she's always kind of, standoffish and everything. But it's not found out why until near the end. But no, we get this information here. Also, I love how they didn't actually technically reveal that the paper they were unfolding that she kept in the little bag was the flyer that Mai gave her. They didn't need to reveal it, though. Because just showing Mai handing her the flyer in the flashback is exactly what it said. This was brilliant. Like, from, like, all the setup to that, to this reveal that, like, she has severe abandonment issues because of, and I actually looked this up to make sure because I was not confident. Her parents divorced. Her mother remarried, and that's what was, like, going on at the end of that flashback and everything. And that's, like, why she's had these abandonment issues after joining this club and everything. She's, like, felt like she needed to be super competitive. She needed to do this to feel useful because she was afraid of people leaving her again. She hadn't really had any other friends that we can see. And she wanted to feel like she was enough. And this is a real thing that that kids who go through their parents divorcing experience. This is, like, one of the most common issues that kids who have parents divorce experience. And it's something that I kind of avoided because my parents divorced when I was, like, late high school. Like, almost at the point of graduation. Actually, technically, they didn't divorce until after I graduated. Like, nothing was actually finalized until after that point, after we moved back up from Georgia. But, like, it was still, like, incoming, and I knew it was incoming, because it was, like, we were directly told that they were divorcing. And I was at a point where it's like I could process that a lot better. Even my brother and sister were old enough at that point to be able to process it well enough. So it's like none of us were like really distraught by it. At least I don't think they were. They never made anything clear towards that, at least. But yeah, it's just it became it became easier to handle because of that. But a lot of kids who go through divorce, especially when they're young, a lot of times they blame themselves. A lot of times they like wonder like what did they do? Or were they not enough? Were they not good enough? It's a very common thing, and it's heartbreaking because it's never the kid's fault. The parents divorce because they don't love each other anymore for one reason or another, and they don't want to be together anymore. And a lot of things can lead to that. It can be a number of different things, but Rena here still felt abandoned. She felt like she wasn't enough. She felt like she had to be better. And this created this competitive nature to her. And she was saying in this episode, it's like, I don't know how to just have fun with this. I can't just accept this as like just casual fun. Because if I'm not competitive, if I'm not the best, if I'm not doing the best I can, what does it matter? And because like the others like are older than her, right? They're like her senpai and everything, as she mentioned. They're going to graduate before her, and she's so fucking afraid of losing them. Because with everything that happened, this bowling club was kind of like her solace. It was kind of like her, because bowling was something she always loved. It was something that she was able to find happiness in again. But that also shows why she was so upset at Mai. And why she's so frustrated with the fact that Mai, after she gets a turkey competitively, cannot end up getting another strike. Ends up getting that 7-10 split every time. She feels like she's doing it on purpose because of her own abandonment issues, because of her own fears and anxieties. And I think there is something that's going on there. I don't think it's intentional. I think it's something that like is going on in Mai's own head. I think this series is going to delve into these characters and their backstories and their overall like emotions and conflicts and mental health even. And I love that because I love when shows can delve into that. And like I'm not talking about like the shows that get like super dark or edgy with it. Those can be good too. Like there's one series that just came out recently that has like I think only 6 episodes. It's a short series. But it's like called Takopi's Original Sin or something like that. Takopi, I don't know. But everything I've heard about that series is like it seems like it's pretty edgy. But there's a lot of people also calling it like one of the best anime of the year so far, and it's like, okay. I mean, some people are really into edgy shit though, to be fair. And I don't know if it actually is edgy or if it's just dark or whatnot, but yeah, I've heard that touches on a lot of heavy topics. And I've seen a lot of anime that do touch on heavy topics. I mean, One Piece touches on some pretty heavy topics. But this is just. I wasn't expecting it here, you know? Like, even after this, like, stopped being, like, as much about bowling and started being more about, like, the slice of life aspect and then being lost in, like, the past and everything, it's like my thought is more like, okay, we're going to touch on kind of that kind of stuff and maybe tackle, like, a little bit of, like, these character dynamics. Especially with the opening showing, like, these different pairings of people. Like the little sister with the blonde girl. I can't remember a lot of their names. I'm sorry. I still can't. But it's like, I think it's going to focus on stuff like that. And then it's like we get this episode where it gives us this huge amount of emotional backstory and heavy character development, and literally ends with Rena crying in Mai's embrace because she's finally found people who are accepting her and who are like staying by her side, choosing to stay in the past with her rather than leave her behind, rather than like go back to their own time period. They choose to sacrifice that to stay with her. Like, you know how much that meant to her. And I definitely think she's going to start connecting with them a lot more now. Um, it's probably not going to be like instantaneous, oh, we're buddy buddy now, but it's probably going to be more like, oh, I'm more accepting of this friendship. I'm more like, I'm going to like cooperate better. But we're going to, maybe still be a little bit standoffish, just a tiny bit. Maybe still be very competitive. But she'll definitely be a lot better now, and that's good. So yeah, this episode was probably the best one yet, but I'm not expecting this for every episode. And the thing is, if this is going to be like 12, 13 episodes, it's like I'm really just not expecting most of them to be like this. I'm expecting most of them to be like episodes 2 and 3, and that's fine. Again, episodes 2 and 3 were good. But they're not going to leave me with as much to say. This episode, like, has left me with a bit to say because it's like, there's more to it. There's a lot more depth. But I'm not expecting that with every episode. Even if other episodes touch on the other girls and, like, their backstories and everything, show why, like, their personalities are the way they are and everything, I feel like it's still going to be spread out a bit. I'm not expecting, like, constant, like, quality of this level. And I think pacing it out is a good idea anyway. I think that's, like, smart. You don't want to, like, be, like, just constantly throwing all that at you because you need some time to rest. You need some time to, like, breathe and take it all in. And I think, like, both having this released weekly and having a lot of episodes probably be more slice of lifey like that will help with that. There were also some mysteries in this that started to get introduced, like the girl with the mask. I wonder if that's the mysterious, like, shadowed one in the opening that I guess is going to be the connection with Rena. I'm assuming it probably is. And I'm assuming after her face gets fully revealed in the show, the opening's going to change to reflect that. But we got another bit of information. Like, leading off of where last episode left off, with Sumamo mentioning that she knows that they're from the future, we find out in this episode that they're not the first ones to come through. And we know that for sure because the other person who did, this guy who came through, also said he was a traveling performer, but more importantly, he had a cell phone. That kind of proves it. We didn't find out his name or anything, but when he left to go explore and adventure and whatnot, which was a year ago, the older sister of the family left with them, and that's why the youngest sister thinks that he stole her away and everything. She apparently chose to go because I guess maybe she fell in love with him or something like that. That's definitely very curious, and it does make me wonder, is this a good guy? Is this a bad guy? What's his story going to be when he comes in? He's probably not coming in until late series or season. I don't know if this is going to be more than one season, but probably not coming in until late. Which means that the sister probably wouldn't either. So we're probably going to get fed breadcrumbs and maybe hear about him some more. Maybe even from some other people, but we're not going to see him anytime soon. So that kind of leads into like what I was talking about in the pre-thoughts about like whether or not I wanted to continue this. And I think my thoughts on this are, like I said, I think most episodes are going to be more slice of lifey, and I do kind of think, even with episodes like this kind of sprinkled throughout, I think this episode might be better watched on my own time. Um, it just feels like this is kind of a show that I would more prefer to just sit and vibe with, or watch while laying down in bed at night before going to sleep, something like that. Um, so I think we are going to drop it from the schedule. I think it's just I think it's just the best decision here. And it's like it sucks to a point because I really enjoyed this and I did kind of push it up to getting back to it from other first impressions and stuff we had been doing. But I also think that this just it's not going to give me enough to talk about. And it's something like if maybe I make a post or something on Discord here and there, I think that would work a lot better just overall than like making a full video of it. I'm really enjoying it, but it's one of those shows that I just do think would be better on my own time. So I had thought about this for a couple minutes after I recorded the reaction before I got to these afterthoughts, and I think I know what I'm going to do in terms of replacing this. But I'm not going to tell you because you are going to tell me what I'm going to do. That's right, we're doing a poll. It's been a while since we've done a poll, but I want to do a poll to have this decided because this kind of came up on me. It's like, yeah, I'd been thinking about this for the last week, but I wanted to leave it up to this episode and I just didn't have anything planned. So I got an idea here. There are two other shows we reacted to from this season. And I'm going to kind of leave it up to you as to what we get to. One of those shows I definitely wanted to continue just because it's like I needed to see more to really get a good feel of it. And the other one, I wasn't sure if I was going to continue, and I was kind of thinking like maybe not. I think I said like, oh, maybe if you guys like convinced me or something, maybe if you guys said something, because it's like I was like kind of on the fence about the first episode. We did a first impression to both of these, and I definitely feel like I'm going to give them both a continued chance at this point. So I'm going to leave it up to you as to which we get to here, which we're going to get to first. And the poll is going to be in again, the community tab or whatever it's currently called on YouTube. And I'm going to like advertise it on like the Discord server and everything as well. But the choices are going to be, number one is The Summer Hikaru Died. Like I said, this is the one that I just need to see more of before I can properly like determine what I think about it. It definitely has some good potential though. And the second one is Gachiakata. Gachiakata was one where it's like, I'm not sure how I feel about this. There's some good aspects to it, but there's some parts to it I'm not getting into quite much. And I was kind of like, I don't really think I want to react to this. Maybe I'll watch it on my own time, but maybe if you guys could like convince me. I think I said something about that in the redirect, in the afterthoughts. But yeah, it's like I wasn't really convinced on it, but I wasn't like against the idea necessarily. But I am very willing to continue to check both out because both of them definitely have their positives. Both of them have some things I'm not quite sure about, and I definitely want to at least give them another try. So I'm going to leave the poll again in the community tab, or again, I think it was changed to something else, right? But just let me check. That's gonna bother me. Because I want to make sure you guys know what I'm talking about, right? I want to make sure that you guys know I'm not crazy and it's like, know exactly where to go on the channel. So if you go to the channel page, you have the normal stuff, home, videos, all that. It's okay. It looks like it's called posts. It's called posts currently. It used to be called the community tab. So if you go to the posts tab, it's going to be there. You'll see it come up as well. I'll be posting it after this video goes live. So after this video goes up, you'll see the tab go up as well. The posts, because people get notified for posts on YouTube as well. So you should see that go up. Hopefully. But yeah, it'll be there. You can check it out and you can vote on it. Again, I'll mention this in the Discord too. Maybe I'll put a link in the description of this or put a link on the Discord or whatever for it. But yeah, I want everyone to vote, so please vote on which you'd rather see me react to next. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts down below on this episode of Turkey Time to Strike. And like I said, I'll probably continue this on my own time and just talk about it maybe on the Discord server. So for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.